Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be discussing my thoughts and reaction to the most recent episode of AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. As usual, with all of my episode review videos, especially for shows like this one, please be warned this will be full of big spoilers. So if you are not caught up on Fear the Walking Dead as of yet regarding tonight's episode or just this season overall, please do not keep watching or listening as I will be discussing big spoilers. You have been warned. That being said, the stakes keep getting higher and higher and higher and higher, and I am eating it up. I love it. You know what? I think I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I think I was right when I said this show, this season gets better and better with every episode. First episode was a bit slow. It was good, just kind of slow, but it has continued to escalate episode by episode, and we certainly saw that tonight. We saw piracy. We saw some betrayal, somewhat. When I say somewhat, because Jack and Alicia, even though they talked on the radio, they weren't close friends. But but Alicia obviously felt betrayed, which was understandable. Abandonment, Strand ditching everybody as soon as at the first sign of trouble. Whether or not he intended to go back is it's hard to say. I don't think he planned on having his raft shot up. That's for sure. Nick doing some late night recon, which was pretty cool. Don't know if it was really necessary for him to be completely naked while swimming ashore. I'm like, okay, we get it. The guy's got great abs. Does he really need to show off the rest of his body in these nude shots or swimming? Whatever. I don't know. And then we're introduced to some more characters. Their intentions. Some of their intentions seem pretty hostile. If not all of them. I don't know if all of them are necessarily bad people, but I think there are a couple of sour apples in the bunch. We got to learn more about Strand, which was great because Strand is my favorite character on the show, and now even more so because we know more about him, and I feel like they still have a lot of storytelling to do with him. Obviously, he was originally from New Orleans, or at least Louisiana, because he lost everything during Hurricane Katrina, and he meets this real estate mogul right after the hurricane, and you know we we see them become acquainted, and then Strand basically robs him by stealing his credit cards. But we don't know if Strand really intended on returning everything he borrowed from him or if he was going to try to skip town. But instead of going to the cops or doing God knows what else to him, the guy decides to take him on as a real estate partner. So it's like, oh, okay, interesting. All right. I'm assuming this is going to be relevant to our story in this episode. And sure enough, it was. I mean, it turns out the guy he becomes partners with in more ways than one. His friend Luis is waiting for him at the address that he gave Nick in Baja, and the guy is and then the plan is for the guy to join Strand at his boat, and then the two of them go together to the Mexican border. But I don't think Luis or Strand were planning on having all these other people with them. But no, overall, it was an interesting storyline. How it kept cutting back and forth between past and present, and for a while there, it keeps getting implied that Strand and Thomas are an item, and we see them holding hands, and just the way Strand is undressing him because in his hotel room because Thomas is drunk and passed out. And then the way Thomas says, "I could forget," and they kind of smile at each other. I'm like, is that almost a sexual advance? And then they're holding hands later, and sure enough, they kiss at the end of it. And then it is caught up to the present because Thomas is asking and practically begging Strand not to go to L.A. because all of the recent riots and reports of outbreak and whatnot. But Strand insisted on going back to secure their L.A. property. And then they kiss goodbye, and then it cuts back to the present. I gotta say, what I was really surprised in this episode was that we see Strand get away, and we see his raft shot. For a while there, I thought it'd be really cool and really exciting if he suddenly returned at the last second to save his group from the pirates aboard his ship. Like he shoots them up, maybe just injures the pregnant woman. But that did not happen, and I'm kind of glad it didn't happen that way because I was very much thoroughly surprised and enjoyed this episode quite a bit in the directions that it went. At first, I thought the woman was actually faking her pregnancy when she first came aboard, but it turns out no, she is indeed full on pregnant. She was just faking about going into labor. And because for a second there, I thought we were going to see her put her hand up her shirt and like pull out some bundled up blankets or some shit like that, pretending to be pregnant or whatever. But it was a very clever. It was a very clever ploy, a dangerous ploy, but a clever one that they pretended that she was in labor so they could get access aboard the yacht. And of course, they eventually tracked them down thanks to Alicia inadvertently giving up their position. And now I think she's going to regret this decision probably for the rest of her life, however long that may be. And I think all of our characters, despite their stupid actions that a lot of people are annoyed with because our characters do not know any better, I think once they make enough serious mistakes, the lessons they learn from those horrible mistakes are really going to hit them hard, and they're going to know not to do that again because everybody is getting harder and tougher slowly but surely. It's like the old phrase goes, slowly but surely. Everyone was slowly adapting to this world. And, and then thank God Strand's friend Luis is a crack shot with that rifle because he took out two of the pirates. And at first, I thought, this was really dark, at first I thought Madison stabbed the pregnant woman simply because of the size of the stomach, but it turned out to be the creep Reed who was being a prick the whole time. And he kind of deserved it because he was being a lewd asshole about it. But at first, I thought they killed him. But then in the promo for the next week's episode, it looks like he survived his wound somehow. So maybe they didn't hit any vital organs when they stabbed him. But now the stakes are higher because the pirates have decided that Travis and Alicia are both capable and can add a lot to their little newfound community. We don't know if they've got a camp or a base offshore somewhere or if they've got a bigger boat. They definitely had a small speedboat for everybody, but we don't know if they have a larger boat with more people, if they have a bigger gang. We don't know. But now Madison and Nick are absolutely determined to get Alicia and Travis back. And that's what sets up the next episode. Oh, yes. And fortunately, good old Strand is returned back to the yacht. Even though Madison didn't look entirely pleased to see him, they managed to track him down and pull him out of the water. So now everybody has technically been reunited. Strand is back. Nick and Luis are back from shore, from Baja. Everybody's back on the yacht after they took it back from the pirates, except for the one they injured. Except poor Travis and Alicia are now out there. God only knows where. Out on the water with these new characters. And what comes next, I don't know, but it is exciting. And this episode, the ending of this episode made me hungry for next week's episode, if that makes sense, because I can usually wait between episodes after this show, but this particular episode of this season got me really excited, and it felt like kind of like a cliffhanger. It wasn't, but it kind of felt that way. But that's how much I enjoyed it. In fact, I probably enjoyed this one a lot more than I enjoyed last week's episode. And I think I'm going to say that about the rest of the episodes for the rest of this season, because it honestly keeps getting better and better. The stakes get higher, and it continues to escalate episode by episode, and I love it. So good job so far, cast and crew of Fear the Walking Dead. Excellent job. Keep up the good work. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching this episode review here on the EdWord. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more episode review videos like this one. Don't forget to like this video. Please check out my Facebook page and the comments section in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. And don't forget to tune in every Sunday night to AMC for new episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. And overall, thanks for stopping by and watching. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and you get off to a good start next week. Happy May Day. And of course, until next time, as always, may the Force be with you.